and the games people play. Na na na. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. I'm talking about you and me. That's right.
Stand by, 45 seconds.
Come on, people. Let's act like we give a damn for 5 freaking minutes.
"30 seconds to broadcast. "15 seconds to launch. Places, please. 5 seconds.
Adjust your mojo.
You are about to participate in a great adventure.
Now.
At age, 60? He's just gonna break bad?
Radio with an attitude.
This system that we love is broken.
I know that.
Do not comply.
Hey, mother.
Welcome to another 2 hours of common sense.
That liberty and justice for all is a myth.
And erratic behavior.
You want to, but you can't. And when you do, you wish you didn't.
This is your Daily Mojo.
Is it now? Howdy. It's the Daily Mojo for Monday. This is February the 10th, the year of our Lord 2025, and it's the Daily Mojo. If you hear the sound of squealing pigs, it's most likely coming from Washington because, well, they are screaming like a bunch of stuck pigs. Just saying. I know I'm coming from somewhere. I'll figure it out here in just a second. Aha! That's where it is. I knew it. Ron's not here today. It is just moi, yours truly, Real Brad Staggs on the socials, and just Brad. When we meet in person, you don't have to say, "Hey, you're Real Brad." You can if you want to, but that would be a little weird, and I think it would make our relationship just a little strange. If you want to be a part of the program, which is an abbreviated version of said program today, the hashtag to use is what I learned today. That will make your comments, suggestions, comments, criticisms, concerns, etc. Far more visible. That way I know who to block on the socials. All right, so to be quite frank, and not Frank in PA, but to be quite frank, because they say don't ever say "let me be honest," because that implies, especially in court, that you weren't honest. Like OJ, but and he's dead now. But we are doing an abbreviated version. I just now found the score of the Super Bowl. I had no idea. That's how much I cared. When I turned I was actually watching reruns of Better Call Saul, and they were great. And when I turned on the game on where the hell did I even find it? Because Bethy Knott wanted to watch the Super Bowl, and I go right ahead, and it was, I think, 24-0 Philly at that point. Wasn't looking good. Besides, who cares if it's Philly or Kansas City? We have the commercials from the game, the good ones, in theory, and also the prices of things at the Super Bowl. We'll get to that, but first, Freebie 38 over in the Rumble chat room says it's all Ron's fault. He didn't show up for class. That's true. And yeah, I did say on Friday that we might start at 6. I noticed Beaver said something about that. But here's the issue. There was another program. Long story short, it wasn't technically possible to start an hour early. So there you go. Thank you to Beaver for the tip on the weirdest damn story out of Pennsylvania, which, again, we will get to momentarily. First, though, the dizzying pace at which Donald Trump is taking care of business in the Capitol, along with Elon Musk, has got to make you smile. Does it not? There was it was on Twitter, X, on Friday, and it was the crew taking the sign off of the front of the U.S. Department for the USAID building. I thought I had that up, but I didn't. Sign down. Let me see if I can find that for you. Yep, right there. Right there. This is Fabu. Oh, good. This is the long version. This is the crew out in D.C. removing all of the signage. I mean, damn. Are they serious or are they serious? And good. This is one of the things that when we were in D.C. Several years ago, I guess it was 2018? Holy crap. That's 7 years? Wow. Anyway, sorry, time flies. So when we were in D.C. in 2018 for I think it was midterms, we walked down the streets. Doc and Ron, who else was there? We were working from FreedomWorks office, and as we would walk to their office from the hotel, walking down the street, we noticed all the big buildings, and if you've ever been to D.C., it's quite impressive. Not in all the right ways, but there are lots of large buildings with, nice big columns on them, and you can tell that they cost a lot of money, and it was yours and my money and our ancestors who built all these fabulous buildings, and in one in particular was the Bureau of Labor Statistics. It was monstrous. And you just wonder, why in the hell do we need such a large building, monstrous building, for the Bureau of Labor Statistics? And why do we need a large building? Well, in the case of USAID, you've got to have a big building because you've got to be able to hold all that money that we were sending to other places in the country. So it's just very satisfying to see some of this stuff coming down, finally. To see these buildings. Now, I don't know what they're going to use them for. Maybe we should auction them off. Do we really need to have all that real estate in D.C.? Now, this is, when they start taking down the signs and all of that, that obviously is a giant FU and middle finger to the people who were sucking off the teat of USAID, which, again, I say, good. It's about damn time. Let them eat cake. People are pissed, though. Well, the people who are pissed in D.C. are the ones who were at the aforementioned government teat. We'll see how many times we can say that word. And don't get me wrong, and I know DM is going to be out there wailing away at the executive orders, and I get it. I'm not a big fan of them either because, well, it's just not a good idea. Because it's just tit for tat or teat. But when you are in the situation that Trump and the Republicans are in at this point, a lot of those are simply reversals of the other guy, Biden, his executive orders. We do at some point have to stop playing this game of ping pong with EOs, and I don't know where it ends. I don't know who. I mean, do we start? Who's going to be the adult? Because it's D.C. That's a stupid question. Nobody is going to be adulting. NBC News review shows that Trump signed more executive orders in 10 days than any of his recent predecessors did in their first 100. Recent predecessors, that would be Biden and Obama. So his recent that'd be the other two guys. Okay. And as far as this piece over at NBC News is again, wonderful in its obviousness. Let me put it that way. The Democrats, let's see, here we go. The quote from the Democrats, "We're figuring it out. Democrats struggle to keep up with Trump's dizzying pace." Right? Yeah, that's what we kind of figured, is that he's out there. Plus, he's throwing a bunch of red herrings just to see, just to keep him busy. I'm going to let that keep playing so we get through the pre-roll. But he's throwing a bunch of the Greenland thing. We're not taking Greenland. I seriously doubt we're going to do anything with the Gaza Strip. Here is Andy Kim, a Democrat congressperson, talking with Kristen Welker over at Meet the Depressed regarding said dizzying pace. Hold on a minute. You're going to need to hear that. There you go.
Also playing out in protests and rallies. Senator Chuck Schumer, the minority leader in the Senate, held a news conference that was a lot like a rally outside of the Treasury Department to counter some of the actions by Elon Musk. Take a look.
I am going to stand with you in this fight, and we will win.
Well, has he answered the attorney's request to clarify his statements about Gorsuch and Kavanaugh? We'll unleash the whirlwind, and you'll pay the price. Has he, or are we just, again, being petty? Because, no, I think he should answer them.
We will win. We will win.
Will you?
We will win.
Are you satisfied with how your party is pushing back in this moment? Have Democrats found their footing?
Well, I want to make sure that the American people see it across the board in terms of all the different prongs of what's happening. There is the litigation side, legislation, the oversight, the communication, and I'll also add the mobilization that you saw there. When it comes to litigation, what we've seen so far, dozens of lawsuits. This is something that the senators, we had been in touch with the state's attorney general ever since November, talking about what comes next.
The Trump wave came next, and they don't know what hit them. Well, they do know, but they just can't keep up with it. They keep trying to get back on the surfboard, but the wave keeps moving faster and faster and faster toward the shore. They cannot stand up on their boards because it's going so quickly. Is that good? In this case, it is. And I know, just because your guy is doing it and he's being successful, it's good. I think that we happen to have the confidence that comes from knowing that what we're doing is, the right thing. How can you argue with Doge? How can you argue with it's not an agency. It's that quasi, whatever the hell they want to call it. How can you argue with that advisory board that is looking for fraud, that's looking for waste, that's looking for tax money that's being lit on fire and thrown in the gutter? How can you look at that and say, they can't do that? They can't. You've got to stop Elon Musk. I saw one guy on Facebook this morning. He is a guy, somebody I've known for quite a long time. And again, I hate to see people who used to be friends no longer being friends. I mean, it was a neater, cleaner, dare I say safer? Not really. More ignorant. Unfortunately, it was a more ignorant world back when we didn't talk about politics and we didn't talk about religion. Remember those rules that our elders all taught us? Don't discuss politics and religion at the dinner table. It just starts a fight. I mean, they were right. But were they also being naive? In any event, it's just sad because I have a lot of friends who I had no idea of their politics because, as if you were listening to the conversation I had with Robert Labella last week, the original Babalabala, we just didn't. In the 80s, I mean, I didn't care about politics, but we didn't talk about them. It wasn't that big a deal. the flip side of that coin, of course, is that we didn't talk about politics, and look what's happened. 40 years later, and we're trying to still clean up the mess on aisle 7. But the Democrats are, and again, some within the Republican Party, the rhinos, if you will, are out there in full panic mode because they cannot keep up with the pace at which Trump is making these moves. Jon Stewart, let me see if I can locate him real quick for you here. You know what, before that, this is a piece that was put together by, it's a montage of government waste. Yeah, let's look at this first.
Government has wasted nearly $3 trillion in taxpayer money
Nearly
since
$170 billion in improper payments last year.
$247 billion.
Billions blown on improper payments.
Made to people that
Billions
should not
blown.
have received them.
Overpayments, payments to the wrong recipient.
Dead people received more than $530 million last year in pension payments.
Okay, and just real quickly, we've all heard these stories for years, right? They've all been here's a fun one. Guess how much the IRS sent to dead people, over the last year. That's crazy. $1 million went to dead people. Isn't that wild? Hey, Chuck, how's the weather? We just didn't get pissed off about it. But you hear that enough times, you start realizing, maybe this is something that needs to be, fixed.
Medicare paying $47 billion.
Hundreds of billions of dollars.
Medicaid improperly issuing $81 billion.
$644 million was fraud.
And $764 billion under 3 years of the Biden
mask.
administration. These improper payments have piled up to a total of $2.8 trillion.
$14 billion per month, or enough to pay for 5 years of U.S. foreign aid to all countries.
For every man, woman, and child across the country, it was $850.
Now, who is receiving these payments? Well, in some instances, dead people.
The war on waste stamping out the scourge improper payments. I didn't realize that the Marjorie Taylor Greene was the chairwoman of the Government Efficiency House Subcommittee. Or is it delivering on Government Efficiency House Subcommittee? Either way. I mean, this stuff has got to stop, obviously. We don't have the money. We're $37 trillion in debt, and it needs to stop. How anybody can argue with that is beyond me. I truly don't get it. But again, what do I know? Let's see here. This right here. This would be. It's hard to tell because it just sounds like crowd noise, random crowd noise, but everyone there in the stadium is booing Taylor Swift. And if you watch her mouth move there, the words coming out of her mouth are, "What's going on?" She seemed apparent. And again, I like Taylor Swift as an artist. Ignorance, again, is bliss. Who amongst us hasn't been? Well, the difference, I guess, I've been ignorant when it comes to politics in the past, but I don't think was out there on a mile-high soapbox trying to tell everybody else what they should do or how they should vote. Maybe that's the difference. I mean, she's ignorant. Maybe she'll come around. Give her a chance. But the comments on this is on YouTube, and this is the page 6, the New York Post's, one of their YouTube channels, and that's where the comments, who I'm assuming that some of these people were probably at the game, maybe they weren't, but it said it wasn't just Eagles fans. She was booed by everyone, not booed by Eagles fans, booed by Americans. Everyone booed her, even the fans at home were booing. Oh, the fans at home. I'm thinking, wait, it's not a home game because it's in Nolans. It's the other. No, she was booed by everyone. Untrue. No, it's true. Kelsey about to dump her. Why, though? LOL. Grow up. That's a full lie, and you know it. Were they booing her? Was it a... I think that was the cat that just hacked up a lung. It wasn't me. At least I'm fairly certain it wasn't. Doc Kitty, are you over? He's got to cut down to like a pack a day. Over on the X, James says Obama's presidency was over a decade ago. Is that recent? Agreed. But when you start talking about people's recent predecessors, those are the only two I can think of. I mean, you can go back to W. See, Lep says, happy, magnificent Monday. Is it? Is it? Wow. I don't even know what that is, Bunter Hayden. Let's see. Favorite Super Bowl commercial? Mine was the Daytona 500, says Billy Eagle. I have not yet seen the commercials, the Super Bowl commercials, but I figured we would watch the good ones together. I have 4 of them queued up. Hold on a second. I want to remind you that there we go. The sponsor of this portion of the program is our friend DM over at AmericanPrideRoasters.com. There is Reagan. He tried to warn us. Yeah, from the government, I'm here to help. The scariest words in the English language. Washington there. You can find your favorite coffee at American Pride Roasters. I am, let's see, this is a mixture this morning of the, what was this? Because it was like 3 different ones. I had just enough in each of, in 3 different bags to mix them together. And I can't remember what they were, but it's fabulous. You can make your own, obviously. You can choose to, have an unadulterated flavor like the Jefferson vanilla bean. You can have the On the Roof, the Doc Thompson, perhaps Watson's white chocolate caramel. You can find them all at American Pride Roasters, an American small business run by authentic Americans in the heart of America. That's Des Moines, Iowa. Or Des Moines, because if it's the Des Plaines River, why isn't it Des Moines? That's a problem with the English language. It makes no sense. But American Pride Roasters coffee does. AmericanPrideRoasters.com.
Where political correctness comes to die. The Daily Mojo.
All right, over in the Daily Mojo chat room. See, by the way, Ron is not here today. He's getting his tubes tied. He decided he'd had enough puppies. That's my story. I'm sticking to it. Over in the Daily Mojo chat room, Joyful Soul is over there. Holly C, Freebie 38, Pecan Pie, Lisa Tut. I care more about women's volleyball way more than football. I don't disagree with you there, Freebie 38. Don't disagree with you at all. Oh, did I even give the score? I mean, again, not that you care, but I'm going to have to look it up again, because honestly, I really don't. It was 40-22, Philly. So it was a blowout. And Slate, the headline over at Slate, says the inescapable fact of this year's shocking Super Bowl. Really? Was it shocking? Because I don't know that it was, if you say so. The commercials, however, again, I have not watched these. I thought it would be kind of fun if we watched them together, make our relationship stronger. I'll get to the Jon Stewart thing. Did I do that first? Nah. This is the Stella Artois Super Bowl commercial, which apparently Stella Artois, here it's supposed to be all, nice and ritzy-titsy, or teetsy. But in England, isn't it like the bottom of the barrel? Where did I see that? What was I watching? Doesn't really matter. Here's the Stella Artois Super Bowl commercial. If you missed it from last night, it's supposed to be a good one.
Mum, Dad?
We have something to tell you.
You have a twin brother we never told you about.
I'm sorry.
So, what's his name?
Other David.
You called him Other David?
If there's two Davids, one has to be Other David.
Where is he?
Left him in America.
Are you...
Beckham. Dave Beckham.
No way.
Hey, what'd you say your name was?
David.
Try one of these. That is the best buffalo wing in the county.
You eat buffalo?
No, it's just chicken. It was invented in Buffalo, the city.
So it's not buffalo?
You all right, man?
Still got it? Come on, guys. Sorry, it's a thing I do.
You drink Stella?
I have taste, David.
There's something I have to tell you.
My brother is a famous soccer player?
Yeah.
So how famous are you? Like Matt Damon famous?
Maybe Ben Affleck famous.
That's a shame.
The former England football.
Okay. All right. That was, it wasn't like rip-roaring funny. That was funny. Right? This one, okay, I'll admit I did watch the Jeep one with Harrison Ford. Hold on a second. Let me check in on the Rumble folks. Otherwise, they'll give me grief because they'll say I was ignoring them. See, Sir Rat Bastard, she effing lied. Who did? Boy Blob, I should have stayed out of politics. Taylor Swift, never. Wombat Mommy, well, Brad, get in your damn soapbox and tell everyone how to vote. It's your fault because you didn't, that the country is the way it is now. Okay. Sir Rat Bastard, sure glad that I don't give two shots about any of it, including Taylor. Pop culture. Don't ignore pop culture. Taylor Swift, whether you like her or not, is a force to be reckoned with. You don't have to like it. You just have to realize it. See, Caraboy, David, WEF, invite Beckham. None of them were that good. Mick Ultra made me chuckle, says the boy Blob. I don't think I have the Mick Ultra. Again, these were curated by one Bethy Knott. And, do you really trust her taste? After all. Here is the Jeep commercial, which is clever. It's got a clever little tagline with Harrison Ford.
Longest thing we ever do is live our lives. But life doesn't come with an owner's manual. Might have been nice, huh?
Right.
But that means we get to write our own stories. Freedom is yes, or no, or maybe. Freedom is for everybody, but it isn't free.
No, it costs $1.05.
It's earned. There are real heroes in the world, but not the ones in the movies. Real heroes are humble. They're not driven by pride. Pride is a terrible driver. Freedom is the roar of one man's engine and the silence of another's. Freedom is the ability to inspire. The most sacred thing in life isn't the path. It's the freedom to choose it. You don't have to be friends with someone to wave at them. We won't always agree on which way to go. But our differences can be our strength. So choose, but choose wisely. Choose what makes you happy. My friends, my family, my work make me happy. This Jeep makes me happy, even though my name is Ford.
See? It's kind of clever. This Jeep makes me happy.
That's
even
my owner's manual. Get out there. Write your own.
Even if my name is Ford. All right. All right, so that was clever. But we're all... Fish and Farm said, what a dumbass Trump hater. Okay, so there were a couple of things in there that made me... Well, their Jeep is trying to, be all first and Second Amendment, primarily. First in that case. Hey, freedom is, you can choose... Funny how they say that now. You can choose to do it this way. You can choose to do it that way. You can choose to get, a V8 Jeep, or you can choose to get, the quiet hybrid or the all-out E-Jeep. Do they even make an E-Jeep? I don't know. I'm not sure I'd want an off-road vehicle. I guess I'd have to drive one to see if I'd want to go off-roading in an electric vehicle. I don't know, I guess there's pluses and minuses, but they're trying to get, to stay ahead of pop culture in this case. Look what happened to Bud Light when they pissed in their own Wheaties. They still haven't recovered. I saw the figure that I saw was that sales this year over last were down 30%. Still 30%. I mean, I'm not sure Bud Light comes back from this. They might be better off just killing that brand, burying it, and then, creating Diet Bud or whatever. So now Jeep lops their junk off with an EV. He lives in Wyoming. That EV Jeep is a death sentence, says Wombat Mommy. Yeah, when you have enough money, when you have Harrison Ford money, you can have a fleet of hybrid Jeeps and not have to worry about whether one is charged. You keep, you use one on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, the other on Tuesday, Thursday. For the rest of us who have to worry about things like, car payments and such, you can't afford all that. All right, this is Mountain Dew Super Bowl commercial 2025 featuring Becky G and Seal, Kiss from a Lime. I've not seen this one. We're about to experience this together. Very together moment.
Mountain Dew Baja Blast.
Do I know who Becky G is? I'm assuming that's her. That looked painful.
Refreshing.
It's kissed by the perfect amount of tropical lime.
Okay, that's funny. Okay, that is creepy as fudge. That's... Oh.
To a kiss from a lime on the bay. Ooh, the moment I think I'm in a strange on the sea. Yeah, my flippers can't hold Mountain Dew. It slips right on through watershed. There is so much I still can tell you, so much he can say. You remain my power, my pleasure, my fame.
Well, this is the weirdest thing I've ever seen.
Mountain Dew Baja Blast, a blast of tropical lime. Good looking seal.
None of this makes sense.
Mountain Dew is using the biggest stage.
Okay. That was clever, self-deprecating humor. It was weird as hell, though, seeing Seal as a seal. Was that not just... Damn it with Beaver says, okay, someone tweeted and said that they are going to tell people that Seal was Stacey Abrams. Boy Blob says, the Mountain Dew doesn't need to advertise Baja Blast. That's the nectar of the gods. See, that's the difference. Is even though it's a good commercial, but technically, a really good commercial is memorable and makes you want to buy the product, or at least reminds you to buy the product when you're standing in front of the product and several of its competitors. I've had Mountain Dew. I have drunk it, but I don't crave it. It's a little, even Diet Mountain Dew is a little too sweet. But anyway, so it's a clever spot. It's just freaky seeing Seal as a seal. Pecan Pie 82 over in the Daily Mojo chat as he passed a Ford Bronco on the trail. See? I didn't see any impressive commercials, says Fake Zoe. Go Birds. Also, is Philly on fire yet? Right? Audrey, there was a game on yesterday? LOL. That's just it. I used to like watching football. I just don't. DM says, Seal the Seal singing the most famous Seal song was great. It was funny. It was entertaining. It still didn't move my needle as far as I'm not going to go buy a Mountain Dew. But, maybe I'm not in the demo anymore. This is the DoorDash commercial with Nate Bargatze. Okay, just seeing Nate's name makes me laugh. And again, after having known his dad for 100 years, who is a magician, the guy Nate Bargatze's funny. Here's the commercial. Shut up, Brad.
Nate, we need to talk about your finances.
My finances are fine. With Dash Pass, I saved $6 on my grocery order, so I cloned myself. Albuquerque. $0 delivery fees on dog toys. I got me an opera singer that sings me compliments. She's so nice. Dash Pass savings equals, oh yeah, ballroom.
You need to stop spending.
You're not listening. I'm saving.
I quit.
Rising comedian Nate.
Okay. Rising comedian? I think he's risen. Not that way. But Nate Bargatze, I don't know if he's still rising. He's up there. He's done okie dokie for himself. That wasn't as good as the Mountain Dew commercial. It was cute. It was clever. It just wasn't as good. I had to think about for just a second what it was. It was for DoorDash. DoorDash is a weird one and I guess when you've got a product, a client like DoorDash, all you're trying to do is get their name to be top of mind. Again, when it comes time to order food. But, other than that, DoorDash, sit at home in your underpants and order food. Frankly speaking, says, I didn't see it. I was watching Cops Live, who should have arrested the people who thought the halftime entertainment was worth watching. Funny you should mention that. This is Kendrick Lamar. He was the halftime show. Ben Shapiro tweeted, I think yesterday, Kendrick Lamar has a fabulous voice. What else did he say? Something about, but I couldn't understand a word he was saying. And I thought, well, it couldn't be that bad, could it? And then I went over and
Bowl 59 halftime.
Does the roof of the Superdome there, does it really, is it a video screen? Because that seems like that would be awfully expensive. You just can't tell anymore. It's the Apple halftime show if you didn't figure that one out. All right, do we know what he's saying?
Salutations!
Okay, this is
it's your Uncle Sam.
I get it.
And this is the Great American Game.
My Gemini twin back powering up. No more handshakes and hugs. The energy only circulate through us. Everybody must be judged. But this time, God only favoring us. 20 years in, still got that pen dedicated to bare hard truth. Etiquette speak with a vision and tongue. Predicate this time is...
Predicate. He said predicate, right? I'm not trying to be I can't. I don't understand most of what, but maybe that's the way you're supposed to, because remember, when we were growing up, we didn't know all the words to a lot of the songs we listened to, but we still, a kiss on the rose from the head. I mean, come on, we didn't, and we still don't.
In heavier hearts right now, like a power lift with Olympians too. Carrying various darts right now. I deserve this like tiramisu. We go body for
tiramisu.
Body, I hand you a body. I'm probably a better masseuse. Really don't bother no
petting. Something about a petting zoo.
Body, what they running by me if I got to create out the room. You would not get the picture if I had to sit you for hours in front of the loop.
How many people fit in one car?
Told you to stand next to Johnny and Q. Started with nothing but government cheese, but now I can seize the
government cheese.
Remember the foods, them color was tan and brown, but now the 100 is blue.
All right, here's the funny thing is I turned on closed captioning just to see. It don't know what he's saying either.
Remember I said on the greatest back when you debated the number one and number two. Topic was always hilarious to me. You carried them to me, I brought out the face. The revolution about to be televised. You picked the right time, but the wrong guy.
And apparently, he...
I want better squabble love.
I want better squabble love?
Reincarnated. I was stargazing. Life goes on. I need her, my babies.
Anyway, I'm sure it was, I mean, if... I like Will Smith rap. I know. I'm painfully white. I have a friend, though, white dude, loves rap music. Okay, that's great. Not a big fan. But part of the issue is, I guess that Kendrick Lamar and Drake don't get along. Not really sure why. Not sure that I care. But just in case you either care or want to, engage in conversation later, Kendrick Lamar reportedly doesn't like Drake due to a long-standing tension in the rap industry stemming from this is AI, by the way, telling us stemming from perceived lyrical inconsistencies, Drake's image, and a notable diss track where Kendrick publicly called out Drake and other rappers, criticizing their style and claiming superiority on Big Sean's Control song. This ignited a feud where both artists have exchanged subtle and direct diss tracks over the years, with Kendrick often taking aim at Drake's perceived lack of authenticity and manipulation tactics. So now when you go to work and they're like, boy, did you hear Kendrick Lamar take out Drake in that song? Because man, was he was pissed. You could tell he was pissed because of just the way he was singing that song. And, you heard the lyrics that you didn't understand, but you still heard them, and you know that Kendrick Lamar doesn't like Drake because of perceived lyrical inconsistencies, Drake's image and style and superiority. Now you know the rest of the story.
This is Phil Bell on the Daily MoJo with your morning update. I want to tell you a story. Years ago, I used to work for Newt Gingrich when he ran for president. And when he was asked what his vision for the American economy was, he said something very profound. He said he wants it to be possible for you to get a job, get a better job, and own the job. Well, I was very lucky to have seen this take place up close. You see, one of my good friends, and her name is Carrie, she, years ago, got a job at a dog groomer, and she loved it. She loved working with the family. She loved working with the animals, you name it. Well, she got a job. She got a better job. She moved up there, and just last Friday, she owned the job. She purchased the dog grooming salon, Bark and Bubbles, in Fairfax, Virginia, and she will now, as you're seeing this, be starting her first full day as the owner. Now, I want you to think about this for a very important reason. You see, here in America, someone who is under 25 years old, someone who applies herself, someone who said, you know what, I don't need college and all the craziness, can succeed. And that means all of us can. We do not need the government to pull us along. We do not need someone to come down from the clouds and make everything better. It is up to us on a daily basis to guide our lives, to make this country great, and to do what it takes to thrive. And there is no limit on what we can do. Now, under this video, I want you to congratulate Carrie on what she's done, and I want you to talk about ways that you can help others get a job, get a better job, and own the job, and not leave this up to the government. What I also want you to do is download the Daily MoJo smartphone app and enable notifications. That way you'll be up to date on the latest craziness and good stuff coming out of Washington, D.C., and you'll know how to share it with others. We'll see you down the line, and thanks for choosing the Daily MoJo.
Phil Bell's Morning Update is only on the Daily MoJo.com. If you're offended, you're listening wrong. The Daily MoJo.
It is the Daily MoJo for Monday, the 10th of February, year of our Lord 2025. Let's see over on the X real quickly here. Dr. Free Range Prisoner. Real Brad Staggs, for a bit of context, I couldn't understand 90% of what was being said by Kendrick, so I turned on closed captioning, and all it read was inaudible. Kind of funny when that happens, right? Pickled Squirrel, did I imagine, or are you on BAP today? I am, in fact, on WBAP this morning from 9 until 11 Central Time, which is the reason that this is an abbreviated episode of the Daily MoJo. Will only be on for an hour. So we're going to, if the buttons would start working. Well, that's going to be interesting, isn't it? I'll only be on here for an hour and then going over there. And the hour in between and all of the WBAP broadcast will be available for the insiders, the Rebel Alliance and above. So you can, again, watch the exciting, super-de-duper behind-the-scenes of a radio broadcast if you're an insider. There you are. All right, since we are dealing time management here. All right, before... Hang on, Freebie 38, which one of the 168 genders will Ron be after his surgery today? Will it be a less gay one? I don't know. That's a really good, that's a good question. I don't know, something about his tubes being tied. That's all I know. All right, so the wasted money thing, as I brought up earlier, we talked about Doge, which is, again, the proper pronunciation for the Department of Government Efficiency, Doge, not Doge, which of course is the cryptocurrency. This is Jon Stewart. He's interviewing Kathleen Hicks, who was Joe Biden's number 2 at the Pentagon. The lack of awareness, the lack of common sense, I'm not even sure. I guess hers just encapsulates the attitude of those in D.C. who've been doing this so long and taking our money and squandering it on whatever they think that we should be doing with it, not necessarily what we are doing with it or what we should be doing, what they think that we should be doing with it. They don't get why people are pissed. And Jon Stewart, whichever way he's leaning, probably centrist. Anyway, just listen to the conversation here.
There is a lot of waste, fraud, and abuse within a system.
Audits and waste, fraud, and abuse are not the same thing. So
right.
Let's decompose
then
these
please
pieces
educate me on
sure.
What
so an audit
the
is
difference.
exactly what you just described,
Yes.
which is, do I know what was delivered to which place?
Right.
The ability to pass an audit or the fact that the DOD has not passed an audit is not suggestive of waste, fraud, and abuse.
Right.
That is completely false right there. So
okay, it's not completely false. You're just saying it doesn't necessarily mean, which, all right, if you really want to get down to a granular level, new hip terminology, you're right. Not passing an audit does not technically mean that there's waste, fraud, and abuse. However, given in context of what we know about all of the other crap going on, it likely does.
So what is
now
it
it's a question
of?
It's suggestive that we don't have an accurate inventory that we can pull up of what we have where.
Right.
That is not the same as saying we can't do that because waste, fraud, and abuse has occurred.
It depends on what your definition of the word is. Apparently they all do that.
So in my world,
Yeah.
that's waste.
Right.
How is that waste?
If I give you $1 billion and you can't tell me what happened to it, that to me is wasteful. That means you are not responsible. But if you can't tell me where it went, then what am I supposed to think? And when there has been reporting, I mean, this is not, look,
John, you're so simple. You're so simple. You don't get
I'm not saying this is on you and that you caused this, but I think it's a tough argument to
I'm pretty
make
sure I
that
didn't cause it.
an $850 billion
Who elected her by the, oh wait, no, nobody.
budget
Sorry.
to an organization that can't pass an audit and tell you where that money went? Like, I think most people would consider that somewhere in the realm of waste, fraud, or abuse, because they would wonder why that money isn't well accounted for. And especially when they see food insecurity on military bases, and they see.
You want to talk about that? Because that's a good, we should be talking. I mean,
Well,
I don't understand where you're trying to go other than the dollars, which really bother you.
I think it does.
She did. I mean, it's truly, it's like, oh, hello, McFly. The dollars really apparently bother you. Yeah, because there's a bazillion of them that we don't know where the hell they went. You think? You think she's that big a dumbass, or just that egotistical? And I mean, she really obviously looks down on the rest of us as, you know, the little people.
It doesn't really bother me. I think it's all connected.
Okay.
I think
tell
when
me,
I
tell
look.
me that story. Tell me how you're thinking.
Well,
oh, how did he not just reach over and? You can't do that, can you? I'm told by our legal department, apparently that is, you can't do that.
When I see a State Department get a certain amount of money and a military budget be 10 times that, and I see a struggle within government to get people like more basic services, and then that department that got that, I mean, we got out of 20 years of war and the Pentagon got a $50 billion raise. Like, that's shocking to me. Now, I may not understand exactly the ins and outs and the incredible magic of an audit, but I'm a human being who lives on the earth and can't figure out how $850 billion to a department means that the rank and file still have to be on food stamps.
Right.
Like, to me, that's corruption. I'm sorry. And
agreed.
If that blows your mind, and if you think like that's like a crazy agenda for me to have, I really think that that's institutional thinking, and that it's not looking at the day-to-day reality of the people that you call the greatest fighting force in the world. So I get back to this idea of like, I'm not looking to pick a fight with you, but I am surprised at that. The reaction to these questions are, you don't know what an audit is, bucko. Like, that's just weird to me.
Yes, it should be. And again, I know Jon Stewart is not, full on conservative or anything like that, but the audacity of these people to say that, well, that doesn't mean there's waste, fraud, and abuse. Just because we can't account for all the bazillions of dollars that have been allocated to us and we haven't passed an audit in 20 years doesn't mean, well, then at the very least, it means you're incompetent. If you can't keep track of all your toys and your little savings account, then, So she's out there squealing again, like a pig. Jamie Raskin is filing a lawsuit against the administration. Let's see, where is that? And again, what's the lawsuit? They're trying to say that it's a privacy issue that they're releasing. Are they? Because last time I checked, it was sites like, was it Vanity Fair or Slate that released the names of the Doge coders who were going in there and finding all this waste, which again is really strange to me. I have time to do the Josh Shapiro. Just let me mention, and Beaver, thank you for sending that. I might do that on BAP, but there is something really weird going on in Pennsylvania. And it was from a Facebook account called, I had everything nice and organized here, Pennsylvania Arrest Warrant. I'll put it up over here so you can see it. And I don't know exactly what this means. I don't know if it's true. But obviously, if it is, this is some allegations from the private criminal complaint. I'm going to let you, I'll just tease you with it, and then you can go and do some research today. Allegations from the private criminal complaint, quote, in the weeks leading up to the Trump rally, President Joseph R. Biden made frequent visits to defend Joshua Shapiro to discuss the obstacle faced by the Democrat Party. Joshua Shapiro organized, schemed, and conspired with other officials to carry out the attempted assassination against former President Donald J. Trump. The next line, quote, Governor Josh Shapiro facilitated, planned, and coordinated the attempted assassination to climb the political ladder, end quote. I mean, is this true? I don't know. I did screenshot it. Just in case it disappears, you might want to do the same thing. I don't know where this is coming from. But obviously, if that is true, we have got big problems. Do we not? I don't think that time is right. Doesn't really matter, does it? And one more thing before we have to part ways. And this goes back to the squealing pigs in D.C. and their outrage over all of these budgets being cut. This is a piece in the New York Post. Boink. Energy experts blast failed billion-dollar DOE project as financial boondoggle and a disaster. This was posted yesterday. They are referring to the Ivanpah solar farm out in California, in the California-Nevada desert or border, and there were 350,000 mirrors aimed at these towers. It's a solar plant supposed to provide energy. Turned out they couldn't compete with, other cheaper forms of green, quote unquote, energy, and they're shutting it down. It's like Solyndra. This was guaranteed. This was in 2011, the DOE, Department of Energy, under Obama, issued $1.6 billion in loan guarantees to finance the Ivanpah solar power facility. And here we are, 14 years later, and guess what? It's getting shut down. I mean, you want to talk about fraud and corruption? You got it right there.
What do you mean it's last call?
All right, my friends, that is it for today's episode of the Daily MoJo, entitled Squealing Pigs. That's at least an hour of audio deliciousness. Am I right? It's better than none at all. For today, February 10th, a Monday, year of our Lord 2025. Let's find out if anybody learned anything during the course of the program. Wisconsin Jack Holt, love you, real Brad Staggs. Hope real Ron Phillips heals quickly. I don't know what it takes to heal from having your tubes tied. I don't know. Lep says, Bard, what is the call-in line for WBAP? That would be, is it 800-288? Wow, I do remember that. 800-288-WBAP. Weird. See here. DMXDM says, maybe I'm showing my age, but I can think of a bunch of past hip-hop stars and much lesser knowns that could put on a killer Super Bowl show everyone would enjoy. Last night was not even close. Again, not surprised and not surprising. Will Smith. Now, there's a rapper. Am I right? Audrey over in the Daily MoJo chat room. You have no idea how many things are going through my head right now. Neither am I. She says, I'm West Coast born and raised, so it's a hood thing. LOL. Nate Dogg was the greatest. Begzo says, that voice. Audrey, Brad, you owe me an hour. I do. You're right, Audrey. I do. Absolutely right. Over in the Rumble chat room, Pecan Pie 82. I tried the BAP times. So many commercials. No real talk. I know. It's a chance for me to promote this show and make a couple of bucks at the same time. Not gonna lie. That's why I have to do it. Just one of them things. Normally, this is where I would thank Real Ron Phillips for having just an awesome set of tubes. But since he doesn't have the tubes anymore, I'm just going to say, Ron, I hope you heal. As for the rest of you, remember that we the people must hang together. Otherwise, we shall surely hang separately. 6 Semper Tyrannis, resist, stupid, and good night, Doc Thompson, wherever you are.
Watch and listen at thedailymojo.com.